Hey YouTube, this is Diego here at FUT-IQ. Today we're going to talk about the most interesting and important games of match day 3 of the Champions League that were this week. Baby girl running on my mind. Damn, you must be tired. For the first match, we had Barcelona versus Olympiacos. Not surprised. This is exactly what we should see from Barca facing these type of teams, even though yes, it's a Greek team, probably one of the best Greek teams out there, but not a surprise that they won 6-1. They have the quality of players, Rashford, Yamal, bunch of players, so this is not surprising. Picks up the morale for the Barcelona players for the upcoming game of El Clásico this weekend on Sunday. We also had Newcastle face Benfica. They won 3-0. Really good game. Honestly, was expecting a bit more from Mourinho's side after barely losing against Chelsea in the Champions League the other time. 1-0. Kind of unfortunate off of PK they lost, but now they lost again. After they sacked their previous manager, I don't know, just morale is definitely low, so it just kind of sucks. Pretty good for Newcastle though. They lost against Brighton last week, so good way to pick up their own morale and go back to the EPL and try to win their next game. Another interesting game that threw me off completely was PSV beating Napoli. Honestly, I did not expect Napoli to lose this game 6-2. Not just lose, but lose 6-2. A lot of goals. I was caught off guard by that. I mean, McTominay scored a brace, still not good enough. I don't know what happened to these boys. I mean, they were doing really good in the Serie A. They're tied right now for first place with Inter and AC Milan. They're a good team. I think it was just a bad night for the boys from Napoli, and they couldn't finish. I mean, Perisic, he's like 38. He's the age of MADRD. He's played an amazing game. Like, that just threw me off completely. The crazy game we had too was PSG destroying Bayern Leverkusen 7-2. They also had, I mean, both of them had red cards, but honestly, the red cards didn't play much in the role, I believe so. It's just the lack quality of the players that they played against each other. PSG, their quality is insane. I mean, expect from these guys. Just as how you expect Barcelona to beat Olympiacos 6-1, you expect PSG to destroy Bayern Leverkusen. Now, not 7-2, but definitely, a 3-0, 3-1, type of normal game. But crazy finishes today. JUDE scored a brace. Some of my friends asked who is JUDE. JUDE was there tonight. People should know who JUDE is. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know, man. I think definitely PSG are candidates once again to win the Champions League. I mean, they have the Ballon d'Or winner, Ousmane Dembélé, so he also scored. So, I mean, watch out with PSG, man. I think these guys will definitely be competing for the UCL this year again, and it's just going to be an exciting, end of the Champions League when it comes up to the, quarterfinals, knockout times. Another game that was actually really crazy to me is Arsenal beating Atletico de Madrid. I don't know how that even happened. 4-0. You already know how Madrid defends. They're defensively very, very, very disciplined. Simeone knows how to play ball without the ball, if you know what I mean. They got scored on within 5 minutes, 3 goals. I don't know, man. That just says something about defensively. It wasn't their night, but they had chances, they had opportunities, and they just couldn't put them in the back of the net. We saw Julian Alvarez, he had a couple chances. He tried really hard. He hit one on the crossbar or between where the crossbar and post connect. So they had chances, they had opportunities. It was a tight game up until second half, but when you can finish, you finish, and these guys couldn't, and Arsenal did, and they were clinical. Victor Gyökeres, again, what a great goal, what a great player he is. Scored 2 goals. I mean, these are the type of games that you want your striker to score, and he scored twice, so that's good for them. Their morale is going to be high. They just beat Fulham last game in the EPL, so they are looking really good. Another team as well to look out for in the Champions League. I'm not going to say they're candidates, but, they're up there. They're going to fight for sure. And today we also had Chelsea playing against AJAX. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. They destroyed them 5-1. 5-1. The previous 4-time champs of the UCL lost 5-1. They're not the team they used to be way back in the days, or even in the 2019s, with De Jong, with De Ligt. They're not that team no more. They don't got Ziyech. They don't got Tadic anymore. So it's a new team, different team. Honestly, their quality not too good. They got a player named Moro. I think he's really good. You saw some quality there, but I mean, dribbling skills isn't going to take you to win the game. They had Weghorst, who, you know, was really aggressive. They had a red card too as well. Their captain got a red. I mean, there was an aggressive game at the beginning of the first half, but I mean, Chelsea knew how to, finally this game not get a red card, be cool, calm, and collective. We saw them, elbows pushing through. It was a really complicated game physically, but Chelsea had the, opportunities. They finished. They also got some PKs and they've put them in the back of the net. Enzo being a leader gave Estevao the PK. He top 90, man. He is quality, but it's easier said than done. They won 5-1. Great game. A lot of goals throughout this week. Another game we also had today, lastly, was Madrid versus Juve. Juve lost 1-0. I would have think with the squad that Madrid has, not necessarily saying like Barca win 6-1, but 2-3, goals, but it didn't happen. Juve actually, in my mind, I think they played a pretty good defensive role in the aspect of, not conceding goals. Yes, Madrid have over 20 shots, but not all of them were on target necessarily. But they did possess more. They had more pass accuracy and more pass completed than Juve. So, they looked a lot better quality wise, and they were very composed with, keeping the ball and keeping that possession. But they had a chance, they put it in. Jude Bellingham back again in the score sheet after not scoring since the Club World Cup against Pachuca. So it's just a really good game to watch. At the end, I think Militao had a great tackle at the end around like minute 80, 70 in a counter attack where it could have, changed the game, could have tied the game. And these last couple of minutes that they had, especially in the extra time, Courtois had a great save. So Juve was really pushing in for the tie, and they almost got it. But I mean, sadly to them, it looks kind of rough, just as well as AJAX being in last place in the league phase, and Juve, dropping almost down to those levels to like 20th, 17th position. So, I mean, it's looking really tight for them, but these were the most important and interesting games of this week. Let me know what you guys think. What game was the most interesting for you guys? Leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and share. Baby girl running on my mind. Damn, you must be tired.